What's up guys, Jake Lowry here, and today we are very excited because we are going to try a new style of swim bait that I have never tried before. The reason we're very excited to try this swim bait is because the body of water that is right behind me. I fished here 2 or 3 weeks ago and I'm told that this body of water is absolutely loaded with giants. One issue though is that it is also loaded with a ton of grass, which makes it really hard to throw a big swim bait because you pretty much get it hung up on grass every cast. Now, I'm not going to show you guys the type of swim bait I'm going to use just yet, but it's going to be able to stay right over top of that grass, and a giant bass is going to be able to ambush that thing, and hopefully in not too long, I think we're going to be hooked up into an absolute monster. So why don't we go down and take a look at the spot, and then we'll get the swim bait out, get it rigged up, and then film our first impressions of this thing. And then in not too long, we're gonna have the kayak launched on this body of water behind me, and we're going to be catching an absolute giant fish. This is one of the bigger lakes that I've launched the kayak on, and it is known for producing fish north of 10 pounds, which is pretty uncommon for the lakes that I fish and the sizes of body of water that I fish. There's not as many small fish in this lake. I did throw around the frog, I threw around a worm, didn't get too many bites, which probably means this fish is just loaded with giants and it's harder to get that one bite that you need to hook into a giant fish. Now that said, the conditions are pretty interesting today. It is slightly overcast, but I think that's gonna burn off with the humidity. And as soon as that temperature gets hot, it's gonna be sunny and, to be honest, not the most ideal fishing conditions. That's why we gotta get on the water super early this morning. That said, the water is absolutely glassy this morning, which is going to play perfectly into the lure that I'm going to be using. So why don't we go get that out and see what this thing looks like. All right guys, this is the lure we're going to be using today. This is the Bullshad 6-inch knocker wake bait. And the reason this thing is going to be absolutely perfect is because this is a big swim bait for big fish and a body of water where the grass extends 6 inches below the surface. So I'm going to be able to throw this thing over the grass, not get grass on it, and hopefully a giant bass will come up out of that grass and eat it. So why don't we get this thing out of the package and take a look at it, because I think this thing looks absolutely money. Right away, my first impressions of this thing are that the quality does not seem that good. I think it's made out of plastic and it looks to be just like very quickly painted, which, you know, there's some defects in the paint here which make it seem like, you know, it didn't have that much forethought. Now that said, the plexiglass also does not look like it's perfectly cut, but really for a lure that came in at a price point of $68, I'm kind of disappointed in the overall quality of this thing. But what really matters is the action and the fish catching ability of this lure. Now that said, this is 3 joints with a bill, so I'd imagine this thing is going to move side to side like absolutely crazy, and we're gonna have just an absurd action. Right away, again, kind of disappointed in the build quality for a $68 lure. I think there's just a couple things that are wrong with it. Now that said, once we get this thing in the water, that's how we're really gonna know whether or not this looks amazing. The color is a very, very subtle, like rainbow trout color. Has a gray top with a pink belly and then a white underbelly. It has 2 eyes, but the eyes, as you can see, the eyes are very off center. You guys can kind of tell there, which is gonna be an issue again with the quality, but who knows? We'll see what happens with this lure once we get it in the water. I'm gonna throw it on my swim bait rod, so why don't we get it rigged up, go further down into the water and test this thing out and see if it is worth the $70 price point, or if it really is kind of trash like the build quality says it is. All right guys, I have the $70 wake bait rigged up here. There's only one thing we can do now is test it out. We're gonna judge it for its quality. We're gonna see if this thing really is worth the $70 price point, because so far I'm not really sure. Okay guys, the action of this thing actually looks absurd. I've never used a wake bait like this before, and you know, a swim bait that floats is definitely a good thing because you have pretty much no risk of losing it unless I cast it into a tree. But this thing looks like it's going to be a just absolute giant catcher. Man, it has just an absurd side-to-side action, and it's almost like clicky. It's almost to the point where the action is so good that it is not natural, and a fish just hit the surface behind me. Why don't we get it over there and see if he'll eat the wake bait. And again, guys, this thing goes right over the grass. Oh my God, already. That's nuts. That is nuts. On the wake bait, while I'm testing it, it's a big fish. Oh. Oh my gosh, that's insane. On the second cast with the wake bait. That's why this thing is going to be absolutely absurd for this spot. I mean, you cannot beat that. That is crazy, guys. It's like a nice little 2-pounder, caught it right behind me, but I mean, while I'm testing the lure out to see the action, we end up hooking into a fish. That's just absurd. Why don't we get this guy back and continue testing? So now that I know that is a realm of possibility, we are going to be very, very excited for today. Sometimes that is a bad sign on the day if you catch a fish right off the bat, but other times, man, that might tell me that I just have the absolute perfect lure on for the spot. Man, am I excited. This thing, when you retrieve it fast, it does sink quite a little bit, but if I retrieve it slow and keep it right on the surface, man, does it look amazing in the water. And that fish just absolutely destroyed that thing. So overall, I guess the quality issues that I had with this lure are pretty much disproven. It doesn't look amazing towards the fisherman, but apparently it looks amazing towards the fish. And I think this thing is going to get absolutely eaten today, and we might have one of those days that we cannot forget. Definitely don't want to go and do that. All right, guys, we are off. That was a stressor. Thought I lost my phone. Thankfully, we had Gracie here to save the day, but we are going to start off the morning probably straight across from me, and then we'll continue to move along. There's a really good area with a lot of good lily pads, and we'll go back into this cut to my left. It's full of grass, which is going to be perfect for the fishing lure that we're going to be trying today. And then after not too long, hopefully we have another fish number 2 in the boat. Let me get my sonar set up and connected. Once it's connected, we're going to be off. I'm actually thoroughly excited about the morning. I mean, couldn't have been off to a better start, guys. I mean, how can you beat that? Just a fish like right off the bat. I mean, while we're testing the lure, that's good signs to come for this lure and good signs to come just for the fishing today in general. So if I set myself up right here, and there's already bait fish. It looks like they're trying to eat bugs. That's interesting. We might be in for just an absolutely amazing day with this wake bait. I would be so happy to, because it was a struggle the last time I was here. We picked up some good information, and sometimes that's all you can get about fishing a spot is just information, and then use that information for the next time you come. And that helps. Eventually, after going to a spot for long enough, you get lucky and time it with conditions and your prior information, and you end up hooking into just a giant fish. I'll tell you what, guys, though, I don't think there's too many people fishing this body of water with a wake bait today. So that is a good sign. If you've never thrown a wakebait style bait like this before, like I have, I'm genuinely impressed by how this thing looks in the water and how it just feels like a giant bass is going to bite it. Just not something that you get to fish with every day, and definitely something that hopefully after not too long we can get into something. Definitely need to fish this thing slower than I would expect as well. It looks like a shark fin at the surface of the water. This concrete structure over here looks so good. I want to get to it. It just looks like it's going to be holding an absolutely monster fish if I can get over there. That was probably a bad cast. Should have waited till I got a little closer to that thing. Probably spooked it. If I remember correctly, there was a fish that hit the surface like right over here about 5 minutes ago. See if maybe he's coming back. Oh, I was right. That's my second bite of the day. Told you guys about these swimming areas, man. Let's see if he'll come back. Very unlikely. I don't think that fish was very big. That's why we didn't get the hooks. So my 1 hour impression of this $70 wakebait are that this thing is absolutely money if you fish it in the conditions that requires it. So a lot of grass, some overcast when those fish are really, really aggressive. Now, the only downside of this bait is that it is kind of hard to throw sitting down because you have to adjust the cadence at which you throw it so much to get the right waking action. But overall, I think a wakebait is definitely something that I'm gonna add to my fishing repertoire, especially in bodies of water like this, and it just feels like I am bound to catch an absolute giant today. And hopefully we are, within 20, 30 minutes of catching one. Oh, I see a gator. Keep my distance away from that thing. It's not very big, but. All right, let's avoid the alligator. He is looking right at me. Swimming away. This looks like the bank, guys. Shade, brushy, just looks like a giant bass would hang out in it. Although this wind is jacking me up. This looks good right here. Come on, 10-pounder. Maybe one day I'll hook a big fish for you guys. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's insane. I don't know how big this fish is. It's not very big, but what are the odds? What are the odds? I knew the spot looked good. Man, I mean, it's a decent one. Come on. Decent 2-pounder, second fish of the day. I knew the spot had him, guys. I absolutely knew the spot had him. Man, does that feel good too. Second fish of the day. Not a giant that you'd expect to catch on the wakebait, but that was a crazy crazy call. I think I said like, one day I'm gonna catch a big fish, and then this thing immediately ate it. So that was actually absurd. But why don't we get this guy back, and then let's keep fishing along this bank, because I feel like I have some decent odds to hook into another fish around here, because it is just such a high probability fish catching spot, man. It's another gator. This gator is not scared of me. I'm also drifting right towards it. All right, Jake, let's get away from that thing. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, I had a nice follower. That was so sick. Right next to gatorfish, come on. Gatorfish, gatorfish, gatorfish. Come on, eat it, come on, eat it, come on, eat it. Oh, great. Gator went bye-bye. Jake spooking the nice followers. That was a nice follower, man. I bet you. Whoa. Okay, I'm way too close to that thing. That is not very big, but holy, he popped up maybe 10 feet. Man, he's not scared of me, which is kind of concerning. He's not very big, but what the hell? Now, this bank does look pretty good, but the water is like almost just dead. So I want to kind of get a little closer than where I've been fishing and figure out where that grass line is. And then hopefully line myself right up with that grass line and see if we can't hook into something. Oh, no way. No way. That's a nicer fish too. Okay, big fish, big fish, big fish. He went down. He went down. Nice, guys. Okay, he's got a lot of grass on him, but what the heck? What is going on? What is going on? He ate that thing. I didn't even move it. Nice fish, man. I am very surprised by the size of fish that is willing to eat this 6-inch glide bait. So look at that thing, guys. That is a nice fish on the Wakebait. Oh, he's got salad down his throat. Why don't we get him back and see if we can't catch fish number 4. Woo-hoo-hoo. Let's go, guys. They're in this grass, man. This Wakebait is like the bait for this spot, man. If you have a spot that you're like, man, I can't fish it because there's too much grass, throw on a Wakebait and I think you'll be very surprised. This is the spot, guys. I'm gonna hook a 10-pounder. This is the spot. Oh, I just spooked the shit out of something. Oh my God, okay. How did I know that? How did I know that? It's a giant. It's a giant, I wasn't paying attention. Okay, okay, okay. It's a nice fish, guys. It's not a 10-pounder, but it's a nice fish. Stay down. How did I know that was gonna happen? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Come here. Come here. Come here. Whoa. Okay. Okay. On the Wakebait, guys. I knew it too. Man. Look at that fish. That is so sick. I think this is 5 pounds. See if I can get that scale out. Get him a weight on him. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay. Not as big as I thought. Man, that is a nice fish. Lock it. 4.5 pounds. Nice bass, man. Look at that thing. And that is why I threw that wake bait, man. I knew this was a big fish. That gets me excited, man. It is always fun to catch giants on the big swim bait. Let's get this guy released over here. He destroyed that thing. Oh my gosh. Oh, that feels so good. Finally hook into a nice 4.5 pounder, man. See? There he goes. I knew I was gonna hook into a big fish at this spot. I had that feeling. It just is a big fish spot, man. Does that feel good or what? This wake bait is just unreal. All right, I was texting my dad, had to harass him. Oh shit, I see 2 more giants. Oh my God, that was crazy. That was crazy. That was insane. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's another nice fish. This is the craziest spot I think I've ever fished at. I saw sight fish this giant bass. He's not as big. Look at this thing though. Come on, come here. Come here. Just like, come on. I'm gonna drop this thing. Man, that's another nice fish. A full 4 pounder, but he looks to be, that could be literally the same exact fish. Let's weigh him. I don't think it is. I think this one's a little darker. All right, 3 pounds, 10 ounces. But man, those are 2 nice fish back to back on the wake bait. I don't know what is going on, man. I saw that thing come back for it. Let's get him released real quick. 4.5 pounder and a 3.5 pounder out of the same exact spot. What is that about, man? I didn't even move it. He just ate it. All right, guys, that is going to wrap up the video. We actually had an insane day of fishing on the wake bait. And honestly, in this lake, I'm very pleased that I came back to this spot, because had I fished it the first time with my initial review of it, I probably would have never came back. But giving a second shot with the wake bait, we caught a 4 pounder and a 3.5 pounder, almost a 5 pounder, back-to-back casts. I think that calls for a good day of fishing, in my opinion. Now, that said, guys, if you like the swim bait videos, if you like the kayak fishing videos, if you like the videos at all, make sure that you guys like this video, and then also subscribe if you haven't. It tells me that I'm doing a good job, and I will catch you guys next time.